All right, all right, all right. How is everybody doing today, this evening? This typically doesn't happen, but hey, we're gonna get it going and we're gonna do this shit live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Well, I hope everybody had an amazing day. I hope everybody did have an amazing day. This is actually very unprecedented. However, we had some very unprecedented things happen today. We had a lot of feminists out here crashing out because they could not believe how Diddy they could not believe how Diddy could be found not guilty. And yeah, nah, dog. Hey, we don't care. We do not care. As a matter of fact, we just want to celebrate this guy because I mean, come on, man. He is out here. My man is clearly doing the Lord's work. Not really, but people can't handle how the justice system did not work the way that they kind of want it to work. This is why the Innocence Project is honestly a thing, right? Because of all of the bullshit after the fact. That's real. And what these people are failing to understand is sometimes you don't always get what you want. But the thing that I find the most absolutely diabolical is how we have very limited information based on an Instagram post that the United States government decided to jump on in order to frame a deviant. Now, make no mistake, this man is still a goddamn deviant, right? And I think the most of us understand that. He is absolutely a deviant. However, it doesn't mean he's guilty of at least whatever these people charged him with, which is why they had to dismiss the more serious charges, because if not, I don't think they would have gotten any kind of convictions at all, which is even better. But still, these ladies out here, they are crashing out. One of which is this beautiful Milk and Magnesia queen right here. Okay, we have none other than the beautiful Megyn Kelly.
Reporting, this won't surprise you. Combs's body language is totally different from yesterday when he seemed crestfallen and grim after the jury said it had reached a verdict on 4 of the 5 counts. Now, acquitted of the most serious charges, Mr. Combs appears energetic and relieved. Can we just talk about, here's the picture, here's the sketch artist's picture of Combs yesterday, of the grimness, and I'm sure we'll get one today of him looking much more relieved. I'm so confused about, here's a little bit more, New York Times, with a touch of levity. The judge said he assumed Combs would not want to return to the Brooklyn jail where he has been held. Combs shook his head vigorously and put his hands together in prayer. Oh, it's all just so chummy inside the courtroom for this disgusting pervert female abuser who I can't believe is about to roam our streets again. I'm sorry, I'm disgusted by this verdict. This is fucking ridiculous. I just find it absolutely outrageous, the amount of crime that this guy just got away with. I believe he committed arson. He definitely battered Cassie. He battered Jane too. The statute of limitations for battery in Los Angeles, California is 1 year. 1 year.
Yeah, bitch. Which means if you had a problem, you probably should have did something about it within that 1 year. Which means you should have filed criminal charges which outside of this Fed case, he never had no charges. Whether you like it or not, he's never actually been. Come on, man, what you want from him? Tell me what you want from me. Try to charge me, well, I'm not guilty. That man's up there. I got all of my mummies. Tell me what you want from me. I'm not guilty. Oh my God, this is terrible. No, this is not terrible. This is fucking hilarious. I mean, yo, this white woman here is so unhinged. She is pissed. She is so pissed off. Oh my God. Oh my God. Megyn Kelly, Jesus Christ. But this is, again, how do you feel about E.G. and Carol? For those of you who don't remember, that's the lady that accused Trump of groping her in an elevator sometime in the early to mid 90s. See what happens when you want your side to win? See how tribal everybody magically seems to get? That's you. You said that. You was standing on that, 10 toes down. Let us proceed. What more can we get from this pretty white woman?
So if they didn't charge him for battery within 1 year, and they couldn't because he bought the tape and it remained hidden thanks to those security guards out there, then they could never charge him with that again. There's no question. He dragged her back into that hotel room. Why?
First of all, here's the thing. He might have bought the first tape, but please believe Diageo had that second tape. And Paul Mooney said what? White people, they like to keep things on ice. And they kept that thing hidden until they absolutely needed it. See, there was a show on TV years ago. It had Kerry Washington in it. I think it was called Scandal. And it really actually showed how these fixers move and how they do things that are sometimes unethical, but they have a reason to do it. Their clients are demanding that they do these things to keep their image clean. And although these are just allegations or just my assumptions, if he were to get that tape the first time and he paid for that thing to be destroyed, who would have stood to gain so much from this tape even being in existence? I can guarantee the person who made that, what did they get allegedly? Probably like 50 or 100, maybe 200,000 for the man, please. I'd have been shit, nigga. I ain't see shit. That ain't my business. I'd have been up there minding my business, my black ass business. Man, I don't want no smoke. I don't. I really, truly don't. But man, this is how some people move sometimes. You know, this is what they do. Pay attention to how they act when they don't get what it is that they want. Megyn Kelly is behaving like the little spoiled third wave feminist that she is. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. But please understand, everybody, this is how they are, right? White, black, Asian, Latino, this is how they are going to behave. And why would they not? Because it benefits them, right? This truly benefits them. So the fact that now they see that, oh my God, it didn't work for us. It's like it's a shock. It's a shock to the system because this was such an easy layup. His black ass is going away forever. This nigga almost said this. She almost did. She wanted to.
It wasn't that kidnapping. They only talked about the kidnapping of Capricorn Clark, who was his sort of main assistant, because she said he grabbed her and made her go with him over to Kid Cudi's house. There's no question he broke into Kid Cudi's house, in my view, and that he opened up the Christmas presents and locked the door in and made a threat. There's no question in my mind he was behind the arson of Kid Cudi's car, and there was proof, plenty of proof to prove that. No, okay, there was female fingerprints they found on that, the firebomb that was left there, the Molotov cocktail. And the prosecution said there's no question he didn't do it himself, but he said, I'm going to bomb Kid Cudi's car. It's in writing. Cassie Ventura emailed her mother saying, oh my God, he's threatening to bomb his car. And 2 weeks later, it got bombed. Oh, gee, it was just some third party who also had, it's just like the proof was there. Yeah. The beatings, the threats that if they didn't go back into those rooms and get off with these male escorts, that they were going to get beaten. The testimony from that Daniel Phillip, who was the male escort, who heard Combs abusing Cassie behind the door. And she was screaming, I'm sorry, as he heard him slapping her. Get back out there. She came back out. She was shaking. She got back into the escort's lap, physically shaking. She was so scared to the point where that guy couldn't perform sexually because this was so.
Kick in the door, wave in the 4-4. All I heard was, Papa, don't hit me no more. Yo. Oh, my God. They are just so pissy. They are so pissy. Bless Megyn Kelly. Look, you got to learn how to believe people when they say these wild things out loud. This is really, truly who they are. Really, truly who they are. You know, and I'm not one that this is lost on because, look, these are actually very serious things. However, I'm not convinced that this is as simple as what it is that they would like to make this out. And make no mistake, they used a 100-plus-year-old law, the Mann Act, specifically that was used to get Jack Johnson, the boxer. And what was his crime? Sleeping with a white woman and transporting her across state lines. Like, you cannot make this shit up. This is who these people are in real time. In real time. And look here, it's not just Megyn Kelly, but we'll get to it. Let's see what Brother Cuomo has to say. Let's see what this nigga got to say.
Cuomo here. Welcome to News Nation, where right and left come to be reasonable. Thank you again for making News Nation the fastest growing cable channel this year. So we got a very important show tonight. The three Americans, I didn't bring them in to talk about Diddy, but we will, and we'll talk about our political situation and what's happening with this big bill. Got Stephen A. Smith, got Bill O'Reilly, and got James Carville, and I am grateful for each and all. But first, you had to hear about the Diddy verdict, right? I submit that this verdict, that this case was more about the government and less a judgment about Sean Diddy Combs. 8 men and 4 women found that the government overreached. They made a federal crime out of Diddy's immoral lifestyle. He was convicted on 2 charges of paying for sex workers to cross state lines, which by all lights, he did. He's guilty. But all this for that? A law originally from 1910 that was called the White Slave Act, that was really just about, the government kind of censoring relationships they didn't like. Not that human trafficking.
Again, Jack Johnson. That's really what that whole thing was from. You can't make this shit up. But meanwhile, I mean, so far Chris is spitting, right? Chris Cuomo is definitely spitting. I don't think he said anything wrong here at all thus far. I really, truly don't. I think so far he's probably one of the most impartial voices thus far. And therefore that makes him boring, right? Well, not really, because we want the lady crash outs, but let's see what else this young brother got to say, because he is cooking.
King isn't real, but human trafficking implies what? That you're taking people who don't want to be taken and doing things to them that they don't want done. Okay? No one here said that they didn't want to go. They were adults as far as we know. So was it illegal? Federally, yes. Is it worth all this? The jury said basically no. This case proves that people don't buy what the government says anymore, and they're not wrong to feel that way. A guy just said to me on the subway, they painted Diddy like Gotti and got. Sure, New York City speak maybe, but it's a pretty accurate portrayal. The government wanted you to believe that Diddy was like John Gotti, that he was a one-man criminal organization. So they used a law for criminal organizations, RICO, to trump up the charges, okay? And the jury rejected it, as well as rejecting the idea that Diddy was guilty of sex trafficking Cassie Ventura and another woman, the unnamed girlfriend, Jane. Now, I had a suspicion this was going to go this way, and not because I don't think that what Diddy was up to or about is wrong, is objectionable, is something I'd want to beat him up for. But it's because it clearly didn't meet the standards of the charges that the prosecutors were going for.
And I think that sums up everything in a very fair and balanced way. Again, shout out to Chris Cuomo, just keeping it real, doing the Lord's work. I mean, come on, big dog. I mean, this shit, it makes no sense. It really, truly does not. This was a nothing burger in real time. Like, there's nothing there. Absolutely nothing there. But this is how people, when they are left into their feelings, this is what they want to do. This is clearly what they're going to do with their time. They wasted our tax dollars to tell us about this man having a bunch of goddamn baby oil. Drugs. Sex toys, drugs, a bunch of zesty things. I mean, if anything, I think he's more on trial. And he was on trial, make no mistake, during the zestiest month of the year, June, Pride. And notice how everybody abandoned him. Every fucking buddy abandoned him, right? I mean, shouldn't the whole Alphabet Squad have came out? All right, Uncle Clifford should have came out. Uncle Clifford should have came out. All the whole alphabet, especially them T's and them B's, right? The bisexual men. They should have been out there supporting their homie. Oh my God. All I know is, boy, Little Murder can't wait to go clap up cheeks whenever he comes out here to Atlanta. Oh my God. Man, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. But Chris Cuomo is 100% absolutely correct. You cannot. You absolutely cannot I mean, come on, man. This right here, no, no. I'm sorry, but one of the most epic crashes. I'm talking about epic. All right, this crash out is super epic. Okay, I seen Anton reviewing this this morning. Yo,
Sorry.
yo.
Tisha with T? Is
This
it TEA? T. What was Tisha with T?
dog.
T with Tisha?
Don't want to know.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. Tissa Tells? All right, let me see who Tissa Tells is.
Celebrating that they're idle, that in their beds, why they sit there and wonder why their lives turned out, that they're idle, someone they hope for, they aspire to be.
Let me ask a question into the chat, y'all. Let me ask a question with the chat. How many of y'all actually look at Diddy as an idol?
Hell no. Not after.
Don't worry about it. It was a rhetorical question. I believe that most of us are objective enough to say, nah, we're not interested in being like Diddy. Nobody in here is saying, you know what? I want to be like Diddy when I grow up.
Fuck no.
Zero. Nobody. Nobody wants to get their chick skeeted on by another man. Nobody wants the Punisher in the room with their chick. Nobody. Zero people. But guess what? They are using every single ad hominem attack to justify their hate for men and for Diddy or for men that are successful.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know this woman. I've never seen this woman in my entire life. With every single person in this chat, more than 4,000 of y'all that's on YouTube right now, nobody in here said that they actually love Diddy and that they look at him as an idol. But we're objective enough to actually root for the guy when we know that he's being railroaded and we know that they're putting these crazy charges on him that he is not supposed to be locked up for the rest of his life. And we also can recognize when this woman is complicit and she was the Bonnie to his Clyde. Yes, we can. I am loving the Fallout. The Fallout is incredible. It is phenomenal. It is awesome. Chalk up 1 for the winners and 2 for the losers. 2 losses for the losers, 1 loss, 1 win for the winners. It is a beautiful day. This is the day that the Lord made and has given us, and it is 2 days before 4th of July. We pray that Diddy will be able to be at the barbecue in his own home, hanging out with his kids and his family, making sure that he celebrate, get a nice barbecue, and then he can get him a baddie with a fatty and then a natty and a daddy.
First, look at my man Anton. I love Anton. This man is fucking amazing. Look at this man just die laughing at this poor little light-skinned girl who is just so crushed that nobody seems to believe us. Look, bitch, how can you say that? This man almost lost it all over what? Do we need to remind people? Well, most of the time, women do. She is up there. There's more to it. She is up there. This is why women don't come forward. Look, lady, Trevor Bauer, Duke Lacrosse, Mike Tyson. Who's that? I don't even know this. He's a nobody white man, right? From Pennsylvania last year. He worked stocking shelves at a goddamn grocery store. And what did this deranged woman do? She said that she was assaulted by this worker and he lost a month of his life like that. 1 month over unverified. They just took her at her word, took him off the streets, took him away from his family. That's a real story. I don't know this man's name. However, it's a real story. You Google it, right? All I know is that he's from the East Coast. They snatch him off the streets. They put him in jail for suspicion of an unspeakable crime like forcible rape, essay assault. Terrible, right? Until they actually looked into this woman, and then they find out she's absolutely lying. She doesn't even know this man. She made it up. People don't lie, though. They never do. They never over-embellish Jaguar right. What was, by Anton's words, because, this man he cooked that big bitch alive, all right? He really did. He called her a fat, monkey-faced bitch. Woo! I seen that shit. Yo, man, I was screaming. And I was up there swerving down the road like, oh my God, I can't control the truck. It was epic. It was absolutely epic. But, come on. And this was the woman who was up here talking about, there were kids there. Notice how not one person ever said anything about no goddamn kids being there. Not Jane Doe, not Cassie. Nobody. Actually, nobody did. See, this is the whole thing. And I mean, although I love certain people, you got to call them out. Sister Melanie King, right? And I love Melanie King. She is a phenomenal at what she does. But baby, you jumped all the way in that. You was all in the videos talking about these wild things with these unsubstantiated claims with kids. And we have not seen any shred of evidence to that. And for the whole mainstream media talking about this man being the Epstein of the music industry, I think is extremely disrespectful. And because I have time and because I have money, I would be going through some of the most prominent YouTubers and I would be suing for fucking defamation. I mean, I would. Because now there were no kids. There were clearly no kids involved, right? Even the people that I like. Like I said, I'm a huge Melanie King fan. But baby, you was wrong about that. Abba and Preach, huge fans. Them niggas were dead ass wrong. There's a lot of people out there that were wrong. Shit, if I were them niggas, I'd be slowly removing content tonight. Be like, delete. I mean, because really, what have you done? But this is what people do now because we live in such a reactionary world and we do the most because we think we're going to be on the right side of something. Or maybe some people just grift. And I mean, that's cool too. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like I said, right now, we got a lot of shit going on. We got beef. People are beefing with Sister Candace Owens and my man Aquarius Wave. And I don't understand it because all he seems to say is that he does not like her, but he ain't going to say that she's wrong. And that's the thing. This is a smart guy. He's very articulate. But for whatever reason, I don't know. I get that some of these things might seem off and very far out there within certain concepts. But the one thing that you can't do is if you cannot say that somebody is definitively right or wrong about something, I don't, even if it sounds crazy, I just won't say anything at all. You know what I mean? I'll be like, because it's either going to be right or it's going to be wrong. And just because I disagree with somebody, that doesn't mean that I'm right either. I might just have a disagreement. You know, that's part of being an adult. But, you know, like I said, I digress. We keeping it over here about this. This shit right here is a definite win for Diddy. We need to put together an amazing playlist for him. I think the first song on that list, should he get out with maybe Time Served, is You Can Hate Me Now, but I Won't Stop Now. All right. And then I think the second song needs to be You Can't Charge Me, no, you can't charge me, Jagger Kelly Not Guilty. Oh my God, these are great songs. These are fucking great songs. Hey, I want him to be the best villain he can be. I want to be up there. I'm Public Enemy number one. Yeah, man, we're gonna be playing that shit. Yep, Diddy's gonna be up there. That's that nigga right there. Yo. Oh, this thing is an asshole, man. I love this shit. I don't know why I love this shit so much. Jesus. Oh my God. Yo, man, this man, this shit right here, ladies and gentlemen, pack this shit up. Pack this shit up. I mean, at the end of the day, these are the same group of people who will sit up there, watch a documentary, like When They See Us, well, not really a documentary, but a special, advocate for people who were once convicted of something that they did not do, but then in the same instance, they will hang a man simply because they seen him beat on a woman, which is still wrong, but it made them mad at the time. This is why you cannot trust emotional people, right? You simply can't, because these emotions are like this, right? You're either up, down. If you can't just be all the way across, I have no use for you, because your emotions will get everybody touched out here, and really all you get to do is be like, oh well, haha, sorry. No, that's not like how life works. It's just it's really not. And it's really sick and it's sad that these people are allowed to operate in the way in which they do. I think it's heartbreaking, but really I think it's also very telling. Diddy, never go back to Hollywood. None of those people are your friends. If I might make a suggestion, you already like to do a lot of the gay zesty shit. Come out here to Atlanta, bro. You'll fit right in. Maybe you and Tyler Perry can go ahead and rule the zesty capital, the zesty black capital of America together here in Atlanta. And then you guys could, go to, what's that place called? I heard it. This dude was just talking about it today. You can go hang out at Trapeze and let dudes clap your ladies, or, maybe, I don't know if you're into that sort of thing. I hope you're not. Maybe you can get clapped up by these dudes and you can watch. Gross. I mean, but hey, you're free to do what you want. I mean, look, this man is just a freak. That's all it really is. This man is, he's all right. He's all right. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Do, 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 do. He's a super freak. Super freak. Super freaky, y'all. Yo, been dying laughing all goddamn day. Yo, I've been up all day. Man, look, I have a regular job that I work. Oh my God, but I could not wait to get home to do this for y'all because you guys absolutely deserve it. I have just witnessed so many epic crash outs, but people are still willing to die on this hill. So I'm just asking for everybody else that's still here, right? Do y'all want to die on this hill? Of, well, we don't know, and this and that. I mean, I don't really see it working out. But like I said, I could be wrong. So, hey, guess what? In the meantime, in between time, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is my time for this evening. I thank you. I'm going to leave this stream up. God bless everybody. And hey, in the meantime, in between time, please try not to have any nigga moments. And please, really, pay attention to what people tell you. They tell you everything they need to know about you, right? Because these hoes ain't